So I'll press record.
Hello! How are we all doing? Welcome to episode 3 of Third and Short podcast. Once again, we've got myself, Tom Higgins, and we've got producer Jamie Crawford there as well. How are we all doing, guys? Got a little bit of a format for today's show. I was just saying before that I was going to check it, and I never did. Apologies. But I think without checking it, I assume we're going to talk about last week's results. On the very rare occasion, I really want to talk about last week's results.
So you're the only one who wants to talk about them.
Yeah, I'll let you do it. This
is rare. Well, for anybody who's been buried under a rock, NFL-wise, this weekend, massive divisional game in the AFC West. The Chiefs, the best team in the NFL, or what I thought was the best team in the NFL, which I think I said last week, for me, they're the best team in the NFL. Played the Raiders, my team. The Chiefs have dominated the division for a few years now, and I did think they were the complete team, and we beat them in their stadium with fans by more than a score, sort of by 8 points. If we're classing 7 points to score, I know you can get 8. But I'm not going to go on about it too much because I could talk for the full 3 hours. But I thought, from what I watched the game, these guys will know I didn't want to watch the start of it, as I thought we were going to get absolutely mauled. Checked the score just before half time and saw we were ahead. So watched the whole of the second half, and I did watch it all back on Monday morning before I went to work. Great performance in my opinion. I'm biased, obviously, but I thought the Raiders played not the perfect game, but certainly an aggressive game. Having Henry Ruggs back was massive. We're 3-0 with that deep threat. And I think I saw a stat from my mate Mark that he's caught 6 passes and 3 of them have been over 45 yards.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I think having Trent Brown back was massive. I know he's an absolute mountain of a man. And I'm not hiding the fact I'm a fan of Derek Carr. I am. You guys know I'm a fan of Derek Carr. I'm even sporting the number 4 today. But I thought he absolutely balled out and was a much better player than Patrick Mahomes in the game. I think Mahomes is phenomenal. I can't stand him, but I think he's phenomenal. I thought Derek Carr was just much better. Defense was pretty solid as well.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Absolutely aggressive.
You mentioned in the group chat about Abrams. I've been harping on about him for a while now.
Unreal. And Trayvon Mullen.
Yeah.
Jesus
I
Christ.
think I mentioned him in week 1, didn't I?
Yeah.
They're both great young players, and they something Abram did when he stopped a pass going to Tyreek Hill and ended up, I think they both hit the floor, and he ended up just giving him a little extra nudge on the helmet, and then stared him down as he got up. And I love that because Tyreek Hill is fantastic. And Abram he's not a rookie; it's his second year, but it's his first full season after getting injured last year. But I just love the attitude. So I don't care who you are. You're dealing with me, and that's what I like. So that's all I'm going to say. I thought it was a great performance. I know one of our mates, Josh, will be watching, and I gave him enough stick on Sunday night, perhaps unfairly. I don't know, but great result. We've got a bye week as well to heal up this week, and another tough game against the Bucks the week after. So I'm happy with my team's result. Over to you, Tom.
Yeah. I won't make it as long this week because it'd just be a repeat. But look, Gettleman has to go. Get him out. He has to go. But I'm sick and tired of actually feeling like he's not gone in. You know, the Falcons have just got rid of theirs. And they've done it the right way. They got rid of both the head coach and the GM, as the Texans did. All the Texans was the same person.
Yeah.
However, we decided at the end of last season to just get rid of, Shermer and his team rather than DG. I worry because I sit there now thinking about it. DG's brought his head coach in Joe Judge, who I do think is the right guy. I know we're 0-5, but he gets these rubbish players that we've got playing hard and playing well. And to, be in the games as much as we are. We've had one game where we've been hammered, which was the San Fran game, which was appalling. But The rest, we've had chances to win, and we've been competitive. In that last drive, we've been there. So to do that with what he's got at his disposal, I do think he's the right guy. A lot of fans on Twitter are already saying he isn't. You know, he's been unexperienced and he's not been tested at this sort of level, but he's come from the Patriots and, you know, he's come from a background of Bill Belichick and Nick Saban. Like I've said previously, there's something about him. And I do think we need to give him every chance to show what he could do with the team. And by that, it needs to be a GM that's probably young and understanding where the NFL is going, especially it being more of an offensive game now than a defensive game. You know, it really is getting to that point with some of the ref calls that you're getting now. Defense used to win your championships. I think we'll look at it now, and you know, you look at the Chiefs versus the Raiders. You know, their offense is stronger, and they're relying on it over and over again. And unfortunately, it didn't come through till that time. But it showed the defensive frailties that the Chiefs have. And yet they're still winning the majority of their games. It's an offensive game. But your concern is, if a new GM comes in, are they going to want to keep the head coach that they've not hired? I don't know. I don't know where this leaves the franchise. But for me, Judge is the guy to have us playing how we are, as much as it's frustrating. With the team we've got, I think we're doing well. I've got some concerns over Garrett. I don't know if he's the right guy, which obviously I've been saying from the beginning. I was looking forward to it. His scheme's horrible. We started quite well, a few different plays. Evan Engram rushing touchdown, you know, from a jet sweep, looked really good. Happy days with that. And then we went back to, you know, a slot receiver, 2 wide receivers running routes that trying to get you 10 yards every 3 downs, which just doesn't work. I know that's the aim of the game, but your plays need to mix that up. And we can't have wide receivers running routes of 5 yards and on a curl and coming back waiting for a ball, because it's not happening. And it's forcing Dan Jones into terrible decisions. I've seen 3 throws against the Cowboys where he's throwing into not just double coverage, tight double coverage, forcing that ball, trying to get it in. And you risk, and this is why we're turning the ball over. I've got concerns over DJ. I'm still want to give him what he should have. He should have a decent O-line in front of him and some decent weapons. But his pocket presence is a worry. And like I've said, some of the decision making. But I'll stick by him for now, because he's had a fucking baptism of fire, hasn't he? You know, with all the pressures he's getting. And you look at his last season stats under pressures, like I've said, historically, he was good. So I'm unsure there. And I've got to say, I'm happy with the defense again. I know we shipped 37 points against the Cowboys, but going into that game, we were ranked 5th. My worry is the cornerback 2 slot. James Bradbury is absolute elite in number 1. He's ranked 2nd cornerback in the league. Amari Cooper had 2 targets for the Cowboys, 1 successful for 8 yards. Says it all. You don't keep someone like that quiet. Yeah, and he is unbelievable. And, you know, we had some bad news with Lorenzo Carter going out with Achilles. He's out for the season now. But I said to someone, you know, if that was Bradbury, I think I'd stop watching the Giants, because I dread to think sort of what we would concede. But Carter, as much as he's an edge presence, he hasn't been brilliant. We are heavy in sort of linebackers, DBs. I'm comfortable there. Cam Brown should come in and do a sort of similar job. Let's see what happens. We have to win next week, which we'll touch on. We had chances to beat the Cowboys, and as much as we could sit there and blame refs, you know, we had 2 touchdowns called back. One definitely shouldn't have been called back. It was Ratley got called for a pick. So offensive pass interference, which was just an awful call. It was a right call on the trick play. Cam Fleming wasn't set, which is annoying. I've called out time and time again. Cam Fleming should not be getting snaps. Should be Matt Pert in there. So that's all I've got to say. Another shit result. It's taken me all of 5 minutes to swear. Losing to a divisional rival in the Cowboys. Horrible, horrible, horrible. One thing I will say was, you all know my distaste and for Dak. It's not nice to see. It's even horribler to see when you actually sit there and think, oh, brilliant, a quarterback's gone out. Happy days, we should run away. And then forget that they drafted Andy Dalton. and realise that they've got an experienced backup coming in that's been in the playoffs 5 times, and thinking, actually, maybe not. And he put some, I think he was 9 for 11. And
I used to be a fan of Dalton when he was at the Bengals. He was solid. He was steady.
Yeah.
Steady.
It's a good free agent for them. They've done well there. So Dak will be missed by them, but I actually think it won't affect their results. They were never going to win tons. They'll win our division, as we said. But yeah, horrible. Well done, Nick, in the group. You can enjoy it.
Yeah, he's brand new to the group as well, and he's first real week he gets a divisional win against someone else who's got an interest in that game.
Yeah.
He's probably going to go back to running game now anyway. So they've still got Elliott back there, and he's like, it's all been Dak Prescott passing. So especially with Dak gone now and Dalton in, you're probably going to see a lot more of Elliott now. Yeah.
Zeke ran over us, to be fair. We've done well against the run this season, but I'm sure I can't remember what he ran over 80, 2 TDs.
I can't take Elliott seriously from when Aaron Donald just tossed him like a paper cup a few weeks ago.
I don't like the guy. A nose ring like that looks like a bull. Don't like it. Tie him across his stomach saying "feed me." Yeah, I'm not a fan. He's a prima donna, but he's also a bit of a beast, isn't he?
He's a good player. Yeah, he's a good player.
Less said about that game. I'd sit and absolutely rant about the Giants for God knows how long, but when it's giving the Cowboys credit, we'll leave it at that.
And then Jamie, last but by no means least at all,
the
Thursday game last week. Yeah.
I actually didn't stay up for this because I had uni the next day. I really wanted to. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. So I watched it the morning before on Game Pass, the Game in 40. So it's basically, for people that don't know what the Game in 40 is, it's every single play back to back. So it cuts out everything in between and literally just every snap, every play, every flag, every decision. So it cuts it down to about 40 to 55 minutes, the game. And I watched it, and it was appalling. I mean, we got 4 field goals. I mean, considering we're probably, I'm not going to brag, we are probably one of the best offenses in the league with Mike Evans. And obviously Godwin's not there at the minute, but our wide receivers are unreal. Mike Evans, he got another touchdown. He's had 5 in a row, like 5 games in a row he's got a touchdown. Again, I'll praise Mike Evans all day long. Best wide receiver in the league. Like I said, if we didn't have Evans, I don't know where we would be. We had Rojo. I'm a massive fan of Rojo. He's my boy. Ronald Jones, over 100 yards. I think he hasn't done that a lot. He didn't get a touchdown, unfortunately, because, it didn't count. And I'm sure we'll call it that at some point. But and obviously Mike Evans did get it afterwards. But 4 field goals in a game is
something the Giants do.
Yeah, special.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
But with the offense that we have, I don't understand. Like I said, I think Brady just got under 300 yards as well, so it wasn't like we weren't doing anything. Like I said, our rookie wide receiver Johnson, he got like 61 yards, and Tyler Johnson was amazing. And I know I didn't mention it last week, and somebody mentioned it about our defense, because don't get me wrong, I highly rate our defense, but I'm a massive offense fan anyway, so any offense I'll go on. But they led us to just 1 sack. We only had 1 sack in that whole game. If you think about everyone that we've got, like Sue and fucking Shaq, and we only got one sack, and I said JPP. The Bears just somehow beat us, and unfortunately we have those type of games. Again, 10 years ago, about 3 years ago, we probably would have got annihilated. But we still fought. I mean, we still got into the zones and got the field goals, but we should have got more touchdowns the way that we play. But what down is it? I mean, why didn't anybody tell me it was 4th down? So probably the most ridiculous thing I've read about the whole weekend, and it was like Tom Brady not even realizing it's 4th down with 1 minute to go. So
the Bears are a weird team. I mean, what are they? Is it 4-1 now? And you look at they could easily be 0-5. They beat the Lions by 4 points. They beat us by 4 points. Were held to a blank in the second half. They beat the Falcons with a comeback by 4 points. Colts beat them, and then they beat you guys. And like you say, you were wrongly disallowed a touchdown. which, like you say, we'll touch on later. But yeah, you know, they must be sat there absolutely laughing their tits off with how lucky they are. But surely it capitulates soon, because they've made the right decision for me bringing Foles in over Trubisky. But
Yeah,
I don't see them continuing that form. They're hanging in by the skin of the teeth.
annoyingly as well, though, because like I said, there was a point in the game, I can't remember exactly where it was. They were third down, third and pretty long, I reckon. It's like 3rd and 17 or something like that in the third quarter. And then Sue runs in, tackles him, leaves his arms out, lands on him, but leaves his arms out, and he gets called for roughing the passer, automatic first down, changed the game. Like I said, if we didn't get that, we could have gone on and got it. But I'm not going to... I mean, if this was the FA, there'll be a lot of complaints on there.
It is. It's a killer.
You just mentioned there that the Bears are 4-1. I wanted to just talk about another 4-1 team. And it's partly to do with their result from the weekend. It's the Chiefs. Now, this is not a Chiefs bashing session for me. I'd love it to be, but that's not fair. It is fair, but I'm not going to do it. But the Chiefs are 4-1, and I've been on record this last week or so saying I think the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. And I had a quick look at their results, and I don't know if they are the best team in the NFL. You know, I think they're a bit fraudulent to be 4-1. When you start looking at the results, they beat Texans first game of the season, which at the time we all thought was a good result. Texans have got Deshaun, we thought were a good side. They went 0-4 and sacked the head coach, so they're not a good side. They then beat the Chargers by 3 points. The Chargers are 1-4. They're not a good side.
With their backup quarterback.
Yeah. They put in a rookie who was his first ever game in the NFL, and they beat them by 3 points. It's a divisional game. The Chiefs should be really up for that, and they beat them by a field goal. So that's not, for me, it's a win, but it's not a great result. They then beat the Ravens. I'll give them credit for that because they did stop Lamar. They stopped him for less than 100 passing yards, I think. So that is a good result. And then the week after, they beat Patriots without Cam. So they had two quarterbacks who are not even bang average playing the Patriots. So they beat it's essentially Liverpool beating Man City and Man City having Fleetwood's keeper in there, essentially. They beat a poor Patriots, a weakened Patriots side, not poor Patriots side. And they lost to the Raiders, who were 2-2 in a divisional game at home with their fans in the stadium. So, are they legit? I mean, the Super Bowl winners, the current world champs, if you want to call them the world champs. I do think they are a fantastic team with a threat all over the pitch on both sides of the ball. But I'm not so sure, I'm not so sure.
Got the Bills next week.
Yeah. I assume that's going to get moved because the Bills are playing tonight. It's Tuesday night. We're recording. So I assume.
However, it's Monday, so maybe not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it was on Sunday, but so who knows? It might get moved, it might not. But that's a tough game. It's a tough game for. They're going to be coming off feeling wounded from this week as well. So, let us know in the comments of Facebook, Twitter, whatever, YouTube. Are the Chiefs good for their money? I don't know. I'd love the 4-1 in our division. They're above us. I can't moan too much, but we've just beat them, so we have a little bit of bragging rights. And we're not going. I'll be stunned if we beat them in the reverse fixture. So I can harp on about this until they probably put 60 points past us in Las Vegas. So ever the optimist, as you can tell.
As Josh Davis says, it's only a game.
It's
only one game.
It's only one game. Yeah. I don't often, in all the times that. I think Josh has been into NFL for not that long, but long enough.
3 days.
He's not into it anymore. The times I've known Josh and we've talked about NFL, he's been a Chiefs fan and we've been substantially better than the Raiders. So I've not had anything to brag about since I spoke to Josh about NFL. So
you're being quite humble, to be fair.
Yeah,
Just wait until the Giants get a win. You guys aren't going to be involved in an episode.
That was my little piece. You mentioned as well about the Falcons head coach. So I've done, as I did last week, a little bit of research on him.
We like Matt's message about the head coaches.
Head coach.
Yeah, I'm getting to learn a bit about coaches I don't know a lot about. So it's quite interesting for me. But he's always been on the defensive side of the ball, which I didn't know, and I didn't realise the Falcons was his first NFL head coaching job, which he got in 2015. He obviously took them to the Super Bowl, which we all know they famously fluffed it big time. I think they're still trying to pull it back from that fourth quarter comeback against the Patriots. And then the last 2 seasons before this, they had 2 losing seasons. And then, so I mean, for me, to take a team to the Super Bowl, and then I think he took them to the NFC game the season after, possibly. And to have 2 losing seasons, 7 and 9 both years, alarm bells would ring with me. You've not improved after, well, you've got worse, and then you've not improved after a losing season. You've gone the same. So then they've started 0-5, as you mentioned earlier. Right decision to get rid of him.
I think it's so strange because they've got like arguably one of the best running backs in the league as well in Todd Gurley. I rate him highly.
Yeah.
And again, 0-5. It's ridiculous. He's had big games as well, Todd Gurley.
I actually rate Matt Ryan. I think he's pretty solid.
He has been. I think he's declining.
I mean, before Newton left, if you looked, we had Winston. Obviously, I know you guys don't rate him, but you know, we had Winston, Drew Brees, Cam Newton, and Matt Ryan. That's a pretty good 4 solid like division there. Like, well, all of them can have those days where you just racking up ridiculous.
Take Winston or leave him.
Yeah, I'd love to play 3 teams without James Winston at the helm.
Even the Giants beat Jameis Winston last season. Says it all, doesn't it?
Case all the best.
Yeah. I agree. Matt Ryan, he has been sort of consistent and solid, but for me, he's a tier down from who you want as a franchise quarterback now. I think historically has been good, but he's nice class. He's not doing it for me now, and I think, you know, like you say, you've got Todd Gurley in there, and they're still going 0-5. You want your franchise quarterback to put you know, the team on your shoulders and dig you out a win or 2 somewhere. And they've had, what is it, 2 big collapses so far this season out of the 5.
Yeah.
You know, he's clearly haunted by that Super Bowl collapse, and he'll be known as a bottle job for the rest of his career. And it's unfortunate, but yeah, for me, good move by the Falcons. Interested to see how they build. Interested to see what they do before the trade deadline. If I was me and you get a new GM and a new head coach coming in, I'd be wanting some capital this draft. You're on a losing season, aren't you? So you'd expect some moves there.
Maybe. Just you mentioned the glass. This week's beer of choice is called Lunar Lager. It's another Aldi special. It was 99p. It's a craft beer. I'm trying to hold it in a light so you can see it, but Lunar Lager. It's 4.6%. It's actually, it tastes very, very sort of standard lagery, but for a quid, can't really grumble. And I also just want to give another shout out to a guy called Andy Turner. For those that are watching, he's produced his hat for me. And I'm in a Raiders group chat, WhatsApp group chat, and we're doing some things at the moment, website involved, all that sort of stuff. And Andy Turner's made some merch for us. It feels great. It's fantastic. It's a Raiders bobble hat for those that aren't watching, those that are listening. Check his website out. He's getting connections to sort of all the official UK NFL fan clubs. There's not many that are official, but he's trying to produce the merch for them and some other sports as well. I think he's got some baseball stuff on there as well. His company Silver FX Sports, check them out. Well worth checking out. This hat's quality, and I'm only not wearing it because I'm inside and it's boiling. That's how warm it is for a bobble hat. It's too hot for me to wear inside. But yes, cheers for that, Andy.
Credit.
Yeah, if you want to check them out,
hopefully you'll get a Giants and a Bucks one.
If you want to check them out, I'll put the link in the description of the video and on Spotify or Apple, wherever you're listening. The link should be in the description below.
I wish
just to bring it back to the beers, Corona, your boy's still at it. Look for a sponsorship. Hit me up. Tom. We've got 41 subs. We're flying. Get you out there.
And Dragon Ball Z glass. I'm on the vodka tonight.
Where's the Bud Light?
I'm a vodka Dr. Pepper tonight. I'm on the spirit.
You can tell the book's lost.
It's got all the hard stuff.
Any other results from last week?
I don't think there was many big shocks.
There's the one I do know. Did you still want to do the performances, like the performance of the week?
Yeah. So it's a section
right now.
we spoke about is we're gonna we before we were gonna do just Tom and I this week, but we decided we needed Jamie in, being the producer he is, and he's pretty good at hosting as he does this thing a lot more than we do. So I mentioned we should have a Matt's mention, and Tom's nickname is Skinny. So Skinny shout out Matt's mention. So my mention would be to Alex Smith. For those that are just getting into NFL, really Google him. Check out what happened 2 years ago. Nearly lost his leg, nearly lost his life. Battled and battled and battled. To see him walking again is phenomenal. To see him running again is incredible. But to see him take a snap on the field,
sacks.
yeah. To see him to play again as a quarterback that nearly lost his leg and his life is phenomenal. So that for me is my special mention this week. Not a fan of Alex Smith. He's a former Chiefs quarterback. Not a fan at all. I think he's good. I was surprised when they drafted Mahomes because I thought Alex Smith was as good as they needed. Obviously, it's turned out all right for Kansas, hasn't it? So, but yeah, big shout out to Alex Smith there for me.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm not going to say the same name because I'd like to give us some variety. But 17 operations, a coma later, and he's coming back and getting sacked 6 times and playing, getting through it. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Every credit and years down the line, I hope there's a documentary made and stuff like that because it'd be a phenomenal watch. Should be agreed.
I should have mentioned that in a bit.
Yeah. My shout out. I was torn between a few. The Raiders game for me was unbelievable, and I really wanted to give a mention, which we've already done it about Trayvon and Abrams. They were fantastic. I thought Jalen Smith for the Cowboys was an absolute monster. Actually really enjoyed watching him if it was a neutral point of view at linebacker, he was just a beast. But mine goes to the rookie Chase Claypool. 4 touchdowns in a game as a wide receiver, 1 rushing, 3 receiving. I think his rush was only a 6-yard, but 110 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. What more can you say for a rookie? Outstanding. Against a shit team in the Eagles, but you've still got to do it. So no, I think mine goes out to Chase. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and Jamie, we didn't actually ask you if you had one, but I assume
I was literally about to go on to it, and so it was the best performance of the weekend. 13 down in the third quarter, and in 2 minutes of gameplay, Russell Wilson turns it in. Literally, from 10 minutes to 8 minutes, it went from 0-13 to 21-13. Like, in 2 minutes of gameplay. Granted, there was some shocking performances by the defense, and they managed to turn it over twice, but for him to still get it into the end zone and turn it in with 2 minutes of gameplay, like, they were doing terrible in the first half. And then to come out, change the game, Russell Wilson, best quarterback, winning the Super Bowl, Seahawks.
Yeah, that's fair. I had a couple of honourable mentions that didn't make the cut. Raiders defensive coordinator Paul Gunther. I was calling for his head to be on the block last week, but he seemed to play a tremendous game against the Chiefs. A couple of things he did. He had Arden Key just sitting back off the line and being a spotter at Mahomes, seeing what Mahomes was trying to do, which seemed to work. He also mixed it up where they played a lot of the same plays in the first half, and the second half completely changed every play almost, and it threw them off. So that he was an honourable mention because I did think he was going to get binned after this week if we'd got dicked again. Apologies for the swearing; it's taken me a bit longer than Tom. But and then the Dolphins was the other one I wanted to mention. Absolutely smashed the 49ers. Dolphins are less than bang average. So I thought it was a decent performance. I've not looked too much into it. I'm not actually watched the highlights, but just it stands out as a good result.
It's magic. That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
350 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Good performance.
Yeah.
However, it is the 49ers practice team, and that is exactly why the Giants are shite, because they should have done the same.
I just think the Dolphins are poor for them to pick up a big win against anybody. Is worth
Fitzmagic's not had his drop off yet, though, has he?
No,
and he's 5 games in. I don't know what's going on.
We're past week 3 and he's still doing all right.
Yeah, we maybe need a sweepstake on what week it is.
yeah, that's a good shout.
As well, we put in the chat, I think the other week, Matt, there's only 3 quarterbacks that never had a pick so far.
Yep.
And
it was originally
and Derek Carr did it in the same week.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Well, there was 4, wasn't there? It was Wilson, Mahomes, Carr, and Aaron Rodgers, and 3 of them ticked that box this weekend. 2 of them in the same game.
It leaves one.
So it
we
leaves
got
one.
the Packers. We'll pick them, don't worry.
It leaves one, mate, and yeah. I'm not gonna go fishing this week. But Aaron Rodgers is
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Fuck A-Rod. Fuck Matt Brown as well.
I hope he listens.
Yeah, true.
No game for the Raiders this week, as I mentioned, bye week, so I can dip out on this part. Who've the Bucks got?
The Bucks, I'm pretty sure we have got on Sunday the Green Bay Packers. What I mean, we're going to pick them off. We're going to do it. We've got to come back after that Bears game. We've got the evening game, 9:25. So
Brady's got a point to prove.
Brady versus Rodgers. It's going to be a beautiful game.
It's the Super Bowl everybody has wanted forever, isn't it?
But Green Bay never get there because they bottle it. They've got it once, but he's shit.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
I'm kind of cautious about it. I mean, like I said, I'm not hiding the fact I'm a massive A-Rod fan. So if he performs well, I want him to perform well. But I want us to win, obviously.
Yeah, I really.
We're going 0.5, aren't we? And we're 3 from 3, so.
I put Green Bay as my second team. I know that annoys you, Tom, but Green Bay my second team. Only because back in the day they had a player called Davenport.
Yeah, you did say that.
When I first started watching the NFL, early 2000s, and I didn't have a team. They had a player called Davenport, so I was gravitating towards them. And then my sister got me a Raiders jersey, so I've had no success since, but all the best.
Well, my second team are the Chiefs because they play in red. I really like them.
And my second team is the Giants. I still love New York, but there you go. We don't follow Giants because, there's nothing.
Oh, God, yeah.
We all know Tom's second team is the Raiders. We all know the second team is the Raiders.
So the Giants have a chance to win. We have a chance to win. Are we going to? No, because we're shit. But we have a chance. We are playing Washington.
I'm going to clip this.
They're in a turmoil. Now, watch Alex Smith absolutely destroy us on one leg. Watch this be his comeback game. And absolutely tear us apart, and you won't see me next week. But we are winning this week. I'm only wearing some merch because I need to cover my baldness. But I've not gone for a jersey. I've not gone for a hoodie because it's a jinx. The cap is going to be lucky. The cap and the new flag, it's going to be lucky. DJ's going to run riot with all those amazing wide receivers we've got. I can't wait. We're just going to boss it, and we're going to lose 17-30.
If you're talking about jinxes, or if we lose this weekend, then I'm going to test it next week. If we lose again, I'm not doing the podcast again because ever since I started doing it.
You are, because you're playing the Raiders a week after.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll move on. I think you've got the bye week. You're lucky. You need it after a big game by Chiefs. However, it would be nice to capitalise on momentum.
It's been weird because I couldn't get into this Sunday that much because we were the Thursday night game. I was just watching the game, just like
it's hard work, isn't it?
It's gonna be me this week.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still, like I said, we had the luxury of the Raiders versus the Chiefs, which was a phenomenal game, and then we had, like I said, I know Seahawks was later on, but that was incredible on the Monday. But it's just hard.
We're going to have a good podcast next week.
It's okay, so I need to get through this, and then the Bucks are on, and they weren't there.
It's horrible. It is horrible. I wish every game was played on the Sunday.
Same actually, because it ruins your week almost when you're not on. It's not going to ruin my week because I'm going to live off this victory against the Chiefs, probably until we win the Super Bowl. But we've had some questions, and I believe, Jamie, I think we've had a few questions in, haven't we?
Yes, so we've got a few. I want to start with probably the hardest one because I have no idea how to answer this question. It's from Jared Holt. He said, what would you have renamed Washington? Obviously, Washington had to get rid of the Redskins due to, racism. So
nicely covered.
Don't get me wrong, it is, but they did rename the football team. I mean, in soccer, in footy, I mean, most of them are called football clubs. So Liverpool Football Club, Everton Football Club. I mean, they do have football clubs. So football team, yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it.
I think it's poor.
It's just lazy.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's horrid. It doesn't fit.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I think they've tried to buy a bit of time. They've panicked and thought we need to do something now, but we're not bright enough to think of a new name on the spot. So we're just gonna pussy out and go for football team.
But usually have to go with something that's obviously to like the state. So what, you've got the White House, so you can't really go Washington Whiteys.
Imagine.
Wow.
Washington
From the Redskins to that, it'd be.
Wow.
Trumps maybe, or
I think they had a real chance to make a statement here. So they brought in Ron, and they had Haskins, who I am absolutely loving his collapse. It's brilliant, and it looks like he may even be traded, which I find phenomenal. But they could have almost changed their franchise in a season and run with it. And I would have gone with something like, it might sound cheesy, but Washington Warriors. You then start trying to build a culture that, we are now the Warriors. We want you to battle. We've been crap for God knows how long. We've brought in what everyone sort of perceives as a great coach, and then you look at it, and even the coach at the moment, with everything he's going through, getting these IV drips at half time and stuff, battling what he's battling, it fits that culture. And I think for me, you could have never foresaw that happening, but I think you could have used that, I really think, as a motivational piece. And Alex Smith is a warrior, absolute warrior. I think it would have fit really well, and it's WW again. That's a bit cheesy with alliteration, but I think that would have worked well. That's probably what I would have gone for.
Yeah, I've thought about this since we know what's the question, and I can't come up with anything that I like. Certainly nowhere near as good as Washington Warriors. I couldn't. And when I was driving before, I was thinking, looking at all the team names, you mentioned it's usually something that's relevant to the area. And I thought, there's Washington Capitals, but I think there is a team called Washington Capitals, isn't there, in some sport?
Right.
It might even be ice hockey or something like that. I can't remember. And I thought, well, you've got DC United, so Washington United doesn't really work. And then I thought, looked at other teams, and we've got like Cleveland Browns. So I thought, well, what about the Washington Reds? Right, it's not the Redskins, but it's Reds. And that's all I could come up with was the Washington Reds. I quite like the Warriors idea though, because it sort of almost keeps in touch with the Native American theme of theirs to an extent. But I don't know. But we're not the ones that paid millions to think of it, so I wasn't too hung up on it. But
get a hashtag out there, Washington Warriors.
Washington Warriors. We should.
We're doing it here first. If this happens, we're going to become a fan. Washington Warriors on the podcast.
Not a chance.
Yeah, we'll get Ron Rivera on.
One of the things, like I said, Washington presidents, but it doesn't sound right, does it? What is Washington for? It's the White House president. That's it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure we could talk about the 9/11 plane that never made it to Washington. That probably wouldn't go down well.
Washington Capital.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm sure there is a team called Washington Capitals, though. I'm sure there is. Or maybe I've made it up. But the Capitals sounds familiar. That was the first thing I thought of. But I might be thinking of some off The Simpsons, maybe. I'm sure there might be a sports team called Capitals or something in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's, good question, to be fair. Let us know what you think.
Jared's done well. He was a bit of a good question last week as well. He's stumping us. Keep it up.
Yeah. I love Jared. What a guy. We've got another one from Ronaldo. It's one that we kind of touched on last week. It's favourite American football movie.
Top question.
It's a good question. Although I don't want to answer it because he clearly isn't listening, because he didn't listen last week if he's asking it. A big shout out. We're lads. I'm going to go with Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
There's no doubt it has to be Remember the Titans.
100% agree.
Yeah.
I do like Any Given Sunday with Al Pacino and Cameron Diaz. Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, yeah.
It's not as good as Remember the Titans. It is phenomenal. No. Anyone who hasn't seen that and who's listening now, now, Stick, Remember the Titans. It's on Disney Plus, I think. I'm sure you'll be able to find it on Sky Movies or just fucking stream it illegally. Who cares? It is so good. It pulls at all the right heartstrings, and it's based on a true story as well. Gary Bertier, and you can Google him afterwards, like I do every time I watch it.
Absolute roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. Can't you see?
Right.
Oh, that bit. Oh.
Yeah, it is. It's a killer. It is a killer. But it's brilliant. That there's no other movie that touches it.
No,
there really is.
You need to do like a Space Jam, but for American football. Then that'll
yeah.
Like you just getting Peyton Manning just come in and do it for the boys.
Not sure about Peyton.
But that Peyton Manning does actually lead on to our next question, though. Surprisingly, it's like I threw that in there. Who knows?
This is why we've got Jamie in.
But the next one is from James Anderson, and he asks, "Well, this is what he put. He says, I know nothing about the NFL, but I like the Broncos because they wear the same colours as my footy team, Blackpool FC. Are they any good? Do they win?" So,
Jimmy one lung.
So I will just go. I decided I'm going to do a little bit of research into this to see, let's give a little bit of their history for the Broncos. So, I mean, they're 1-3 at the minute, so
very recent Super Bowl winners.
Win a singular, but they win. They did beat the Jets last week, 37-28, but who hasn't?
That's a bye week.
They are a 3-time Super Bowl champ. They won it in 1997, 1998, and 2015. They made, like I said, they won the AFC West from 2011 to 2015, and they've reached the Super Bowl twice in that time as well. Obviously, winning it once.
They lost to the Seahawks, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, and I said John Elway and Peyton Manning. So,
yeah,
2 very good quarterbacks. And I think Peyton Manning is probably one of the greats of all time.
He holds most of the records.
Could have picked a worse team.
I hate the Broncos.
Divisional.
Yeah, divisional rivals, don't like them. I did when they beat the Panthers, didn't they? It was in 2015, like you said, and I can't stand Cam Newton, so it was almost weird for me to want Denver to win that. I knew it'd be Peyton's last game, and I quite like the sentimental aspect to it. And Von Miller was, well, I think he might have been MVP that game, possibly.
Monster.
I think Peyton won it because I had.
Did he? But it should have been Von because Peyton was at the end of his career and he was pony. There was games he missed that season. He got dropped, I'm sure, during that season. But I did want them to win. I don't like Cam Newton, as I've made it pretty obvious in the last couple of weeks. But in terms of disappointing Jimmy being a Blackpool fan that he decided to pick the Broncos.
Just tangerine, isn't it?
Yeah, but
I mean, to be fair, the Buccaneers used to be tangerine, so let's get them on the books.
Get on that Clemson Tigers train, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Get into college football. It's more, the Broncos is like a deeper orange, really. The Clemson orange is more tangerine than Denver, but obviously that's not NFL. I don't want to confuse you.
And like I said, you've got the Raiders and the Chiefs in your division, so you're not going to make the playoffs anytime soon.
Yeah. And you've got the Chargers, which,
And plenty of injuries at the moment.
Yeah. But, I do know another lad who's a Blackpool fan who supports the Broncos. But if you do get into it, Jimmy, let us know, because we are looking for a fan from every team to join us at some point in the next 12 months, I will say. And you can be that Denver boy, because I would love
be the Broncos.
Nothing more than to tear strips off you when you don't know anything about it.
Vulnerability.
Yeah.
Get him on. Let's
obviously
his other
we'll have Josh in for the Chiefs, so that's the same applies.
That's all the questions I managed to find, besides the one that I really don't want to talk about from Owen. How did that Bucs touchdown?
Yeah.
Tom.
They actually didn't get a touchdown disallowed. But, so what happened was a pass was made and caught, but was deemed as a drop catch. And it was challenged and overturned, so it was deemed as a catch. Now, on the play, it was Rojo, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rojo rolled into the end zone.
Yeah, so he rolled into the end zone, which therefore, if it was deemed, that it was a catch, then it should have being a touchdown, but because they called the play dead with an incomplete pass, that was at the 2-yard line. So then when it was overturned, it has to be put at that point. I mean, you went on to get the touchdown anyway, didn't you? I think Brady completed, didn't he?
Yeah, Mike Evans got it straight after that. But that's not the point. It takes the momentum out.
Yeah. It does. You wanted Rojo stat padding, but yeah, so
every game, Rojo first touchdown, do it,
yeah,
brings it in.
It was poor refereeing, and there was a lot of that this week. And like I say, that goes on to what I'm saying is this is becoming more of an offensive game now. Defense are struggling over and over again with terrible calls or non-calls, but you still got the touchdown. Wasn't the end of the world. But yeah, poor call. Was a clear catch. And, you get forward momentum as a rule when, you're running. Maybe they should be giving forward momentum after that. It was deemed a catch. And if that was deemed a catch in real time, he still would have rolled into the end zone. So maybe they should put something in there like that. I don't know. But wasn't the end of the world. You got what you deserved in the end in regards to the touchdown.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh, that clears it up, Owen. I actually researched that for you.
There was one thing I wanted to mention. A guy did ask us a question last week, and we all missed it. It was. I'm just trying to find it now.
Wasn't it? What do you think? Do you think the Raiders are going to beat the Chiefs?
Yeah, that was it. It was what would be the best case scenario for the Raiders against the Chiefs, apart from winning. And if I'd have seen it, I'd have gone just damage limitation. Don't get embarrassed. Would have been perfect for me. If we're going to concede 50 points, at least score 48. That would have been my analysis. So apologies, Stuart Ritchie. We missed that. But as it happens, our prediction would have been wrong. So probably a good job I missed that. And I've just checked Twitter in case anyone came in with a last minute question, but they didn't. So I've not missed anything this week, which is good. 4
questions, can live with that.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, look, get at us for more. We sometimes we do prep the questions, not least prep them, but we look at them. Gives us a bit of time to certainly the Washington question gave us all a few hours to think about that. So that was a great chance.
I just knew you would just completely slate the Broncos, so I had to give some evidence of how they are kind of okay, but not
anymore. Been more successful over recent years, so I feel like I'm clutching at straws by slating them really. But I think they're in a difficult period, the Broncos. They have got some good players, but they haven't really got an established quarterback in Drew Lock. I think he's pretty good. But I think they're at a difficult stage. They're not bad enough to get beat every week. They're not good enough to win the close games. So I think they'll probably finish something like 6-10, 5-11, something like that. Which helps nobody because you end up with a pick around about 10 or 11 in the draft, which you don't get the choice of everyone. Yeah. And obviously you don't have a successful season at all. That's my prediction. 5-11, 6-10, something like that. There you go. That's as fair as I can be.
Yeah, I think that wraps us up nicely. To be fair, we did well there.
Did we? Is there any rules you wanted to talk about?
I was about to ask that. Then I was like, "What are we going to talk about this week for the rules?"
Well, I was thinking we talked about obviously last week was the goal is just to score more points than the other team, and we talked about how you can score points. What I thought we could close off pretty easy this week is how you get the ball downfield. What the process is for moving the chains, if you will. So I know I've used a bit of jargon there, but far away, either of you, I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot easier to watch on TV because you have the yellow line and the blue line. So the blue line is where the scrimmage is, so that's where the ball
Isn't it amazing how they paint it on every pitch?
I know, right? It's so quick as well, especially like from there to there. I was at Wembley, not Wembley. I was at Tottenham Stadium last year, to the day today, and I was like, "Are they?"
You have to look for the actual chains.
Orange lollipop.
Yeah, I was like trying to follow the chains and stuff, and I was just like, "Okay, fair enough." But no, so you have 10 yards, like you said. You have to make these 10 yards. You have basically 4 attempts, technically 3. First down, second down, third down, you to get 10 yards. There's plenty of ways you can do it, whether you want to run with the ball or pass the ball. Once you get past that 10-yard, the chains will move, and then you have another 10 yards. That's basically the premise of it.
Literally a set of chains as well, isn't it? It is literally a set of chains that are 10 yards from one marker to the other, and they carry them down the field.
What a job.
Yeah, no, yeah.
What a job.
I work for the NFL. What do you do? Just hold this.
Phenomenal.
With a chain gang.
Yeah, that is literally how you move the chains.
There's two basic principles to it. You either run the ball or throw the ball. I think our aim is that we want to start getting deeper and deeper into the NFL and, bring people that are just getting into it or are sort of amateur as we have been at one point. Not that we are experts. I certainly am not an expert, but understanding what more there is, because there's some limitations to what you can do in regards to throwing. So a quarterback can only go so far before they can't throw it, for example. But we'll get into more detail about that. But the basic principles is you either hand the ball to someone who runs until they're brought down, their knee touches the floor, or they lost the ball, or you pass, which is either a successful pass or an incompletion. And that person, once they catch the ball, can carry on running until, again, they're downed. Passing is probably deemed more exciting when you're first getting into the game. And then you'll probably learn to appreciate the run more and more as you get into understanding what happens, and you have a running back like Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Big mention to...
Purposely ignored it, Jay.
I liked Doug Martin. We had him for a season. He was useful in what we needed him for. Used him as a sort of third down bully boy back, really. The reason Jacobs is there... a sort of friend of ours, someone who's become a friend of ours through the SIGs community, Wayne, has taken to trying to, I think he's baiting me and others out by saying last few weeks that Josh Jacobs is overrated, discuss. And obviously Jacobs had an half-decent game this week, scored himself 2 touchdowns against arguably the best team in the NFL, or not, as I mentioned. So that is why I've gone with Jacobs for hanging up behind this week, because thought he'd had a couple of quiet games. And, shout out to Wayne and Gemma at SIGs there. More of a shout out to Gemma because she's not the one trying to bait me every week. So.
And she's going through the exact same pain as me. Every credit to her. We
will definitely have Wayne and Gemma both on, probably together at some point. And promote what they do there. If you're not familiar with what SIGs do, Google them. Check them out on Facebook. Check them out on Facebook more, because they do competitions, and that is how you can win merchandise, signed merchandise as well.
And I'll throw a link in the description as well.
Yeah, we're going to be linking off our tits, aren't we, in this episode?
They're brilliant. They focus predominantly on sort of signed NFL merchandise. They have a shop, often throw out flash sales, which are ridiculous, 35% off. Me and Matt got involved in the last one. He bought a signed Jacobs jersey. I bought a signed Saquon jersey.
It's not that one. It's up there.
No, but a ridiculous price.
I'll grab one.
And then their Facebook page, they are often doing ridiculous sort of raffles where, long story short, is you pay for a team, and if the team comes out in a draw, whether that be a small helmet, a full-size helmet, or a jersey, it's yours, and you're paying sort of £4, £6, £10 a team, and it's all signed merchandise, fully authenticated. It's brilliant, and if you like a bit of a gamble, it's even better. I must have spent probably £300, and I've won more for Matt than I have myself.
Yep.
But they're great, and it's a nice little community. There's a discussion board every week. Wayne's a Jets fan, so you can always have a laugh. But yeah, brilliant. Check them out. Fantastic guys.
Yeah. So yeah, Tom mentioned that he did win. He won a signed before I knew about SIGs. It's the first one you entered, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you managed to get the Raiders as your second team and won a signed Cleveland Farrell mini helmet there, which Cleveland Farrell absolutely balled out this week. As a number 4 draft pick overall, he's getting a little bit of pressure, I think. I thought he was fantastic. So him and Max Crosby absolutely rushed the bollocks off Patrick Mahomes. And then I won a signed Darren Waller jersey a few weeks ago. Got the certificate of authenticity there. And also got the little some sick little thing on there. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, so definitely check them out. We will have both Gemma and Wayne on, and I will make sure it's a week where Jacob scores 3 touchdowns and runs 100 yards. And I was going to say make sure it's a week where the Jets lose, but that can be any week. So
yeah, you've got a few to choose from.
Pretty quick as well, don't they? Like you said, you've won.
Yeah.
Like you get on the Sunday and it comes on like the Wednesday, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've never won. You guys have, so.
Yeah, they are brilliant.
It's great. It's a bit of fun as well. It costs not a lot each time, but as they stack up each week,
it accumulates.
Yeah, as they stack up each week, you end up realising I could have just bought what I'm hoping to get. But it does make it fun. It makes it a bit exciting. They go live at 5, is it, every Sunday?
Yeah.
And 9 on a Thursday, I think it is.
Yeah.
Competitions. Definitely check them out. If you're a Raiders fan, don't, because you'll get into the competition before me, as I struggle to.
Yeah. Di Jones, you need to jog on as well. Steel Giants every time. Yeah. If you're listening to this, get out.
Yeah, and shout out to Walton, Anthony Walton, who did jump in.
Texans fan finally got his first win.
Yeah. He does seem to win a lot of gear, though, doesn't
he? Yeah.
Somebody has to.
Every credit to him.
Yeah.
Send some our way.
Yeah, he's putting the money in, to be fair. Yeah, I think that's another good episode. Thanks for listening, people.
Yeah, flown by.
Yeah.
Just guys, keep up the support. We're absolutely loving this, to be fair. It's just 3 lads talking about something they're passionate about and really enjoying it. But it makes it even better when we've got guys getting in touch and speaking to us, asking us questions, and especially when it's someone that, a bit like Jimmy Anderson, who sort of said, he's never sort of followed it, but now he's in the mind of maybe getting into it. You got the likes of Phil, who's picked Eagles, but actually trying to get into it. It's really, really good, and we want to take you on a journey, as both of these have been involved in my journey, and vice versa. We want to get you all involved, and we'd be happy to get you all on an episode. Whether that's, next week or, 12 months down the line, we want to keep this going for as long as possible.
Yeah, if you want to come on next week, we film this usually around about 8ish on Tuesday. Let us know. We don't have any specific plans for next week. We have some things lined up, which we were really excited about, which we don't want to say too much. We are literally celeb hunting and catching some as well, which is amazing. But we don't want to give too much away. But we've got loads planned. We all have
our dream person, so
we're not getting Brady on.
No, it's fine. I just need to make sure I buy some khakis and we'll be all good.
And a red shirt.
Like Tom said, we're both, well, 3 of us, sorry, we're all loving what is going on. And you mentioned your mate Orin has been in touch. He loves listening to it. Yeah. He's new to
Rams
it.
Fan.
Yeah, our own friends listen to it, and people we know, and all the feedback we've had is great. Shout out to Mark. I mentioned him earlier, from the Northeast. His knowledge is unbelievable.
If you can understand him.
Yeah, strong accent, but his knowledge is unbelievable when it comes to NFL and college football and the draft process and things like that. And he sent me a little message the other day saying he was humbled that we'd even mentioned him last week. He thought the best thing about it was it's just 3 mates. You can tell we're mates. It's 3 mates who are just having a laugh, having a chat about things we like and things we love. And he said it comes across really well. And that's what we want to carry on. We're happy to have people on who we don't know, because I'd like to hear other people's story. But equally, I'm also happy to have people on that we do know who either are into NFL or aren't into NFL. I like the variety that this thing offers. A friend of someone we all know, Katie Graham, on Twitter, keeps giving us some support. Big Newcastle fan, so she's hopefully trying to get into NFL, and I'm sure we'll have Katie on at some points. But she's decided she's a Packers fan, Tom. So, yeah.
So she won't be on the show going forward then. That's a shame.
Whenever Tom can't make it. Whenever Tom can't make it, we'll.
I love it. Like, they have to buy like all the merch and stuff. It'd be like she has to go and buy merch. It's like, what is it? Just a massive block of cheese.
Literally,
cheese head.
Literally, just
stinky.
Whack some cheddar on your head, Katie. Enjoying the show. We're all loving it. All of us. I don't know if you had anything, producer Jamie.
Oh, I absolutely love it. So I mean, I've wanted to do, like I say, my podcast for ages. So. Like I said, when it came to the NFL, I was like, definitely. I mean, my own show's taking a back seat to this, so it's fine. So no, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm finding time to do it all. Don't worry. So it's the life of a producer, isn't it? So you got to keep busy.
Yeah.
You got to get that money before you can get paid.
Yeah. One thing I did want to mention, we've set some goals that I'll not go into, just little personal goals for us three in this group. And one thing I think we can probably mention now is next year's Super Bowl. We are potentially considering hosting an event somewhere, hopefully in somewhere like a bar that perhaps doesn't do NFL or isn't big into NFL or hasn't done it before. For those that don't know, I've done stand-up comedy for years, regardless of whether you think I'm funny or not. But I'm used to hosting things and used to presenting live to live audiences. So I think we could, the sort of relationship Tom and I have in terms of we're really good friends, and we'd have Jamie sat behind a sound deck being all producer and stuff, and we just have things going on. We'd have some of our merch, which we've not even talked about yet. We've not even got anywhere near designing, but we'd have some stuff going on. So if you do run a venue, I wouldn't say anywhere in the UK, but certainly northwest.
Yeah, maybe within 40 miles.
Yeah, if you want to get us a limo or a helicopter, then we can talk about it. But yeah,
that big dream, the pirate ship at Raymond James, watching the Super Bowl there. I mean, that's the dream right there.
I think I'm washing my hair that Super Bowl, mate. But yeah, no, if you do run a venue, or you're thinking of, God knows what'll happen next year with COVID. We will be allowed to go and watch it anyway. Who knows? But certainly, one thing we are looking at in the immediate future is hosting an event somewhere if we can. If not, we'll just have to go live on Facebook or something and just talk about it over that. I don't know. There's no way we won't all be watching it together, legally or illegally. Who cares? And if you are somebody who works for the council or police, we definitely will be watching this in London. So come and find us. So
many exciting stuff happening in the background. It's going to be an exciting few weeks as well. So
yeah, definitely. Stick with us, guys.
Yeah, check us out on Twitter at Third Short Pod. I think is it yet?
Yeah, you've done well.
All the usual stuff. Facebook, Third and Short Podcasting on Facebook. YouTube is Third and Short Podcast UK, I think. And what's the other one you've set up this week, Tom?
Oh, TikTok. Third and Short Pod. If you love your TikTok, get involved. There'll be more clips of me losing my head when people start talking about Aaron Rodgers. Again, that's more just to get us out there, guys. There won't be much more than little sneaky snippets here and there, but give us a follow, get us on that For You page so people are out there and understand it, and we'll get more listeners from Russia. I think we got one, so that's our aim. Keep getting us into different countries.
Start learning Russian.
Yeah.
Is that why you've got the vodka out, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, literally, you got to have all this marketing. Like I said, Tom's going for the Hispanics, you're going for Audi, and I'm going for the Russian standard vodka and Dr. Pepper.
Next week you'll see me with a French flag in the background and garlic ramen.
I'll have Tony Romo sat next to me.
Yeah, imagine getting Tony Romo on. Absolute hero, legend.
When I get my sponsorship with Corona, we'll sort that. Don't worry.
Yeah, if you're listening.
He might be pissed off I've replaced him, but
we'll
work something out.
I'm sure they're you've just given away our goals there. If you're listening, CBS, get us over.
We're available. All we need is a flight. We don't care about money.
Or anywhere to stay.
Yeah, we'll just bum in the stadium. There's enough room in them at the minute without anybody being in there.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield will let us in his home, won't we?
I was literally about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
But, the one little quote I liked as well. I didn't mention this in the group chat. What you said last week, Tom, it was just two fat lads talking football. I think that could become our little tagline, really.
Yeah,
I quite liked it. Two fat lads talking football. So
that's exactly it.
That's all it is.
We'll keep it coming.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers, everyone.
Cheers again, guys.